Tonight on CBS 42 News, an Iron Bowl party comes to a deadly end. But in this case, it wasn't a division over team loyalty that led to the escalation. And living on borrowed time, she was told she had only 2 years to live. But advances in medicine have kept a suffocating disease at bay. Now she's leading the charge to help find a cure for PH. Plus, could he be the next great quiz show king? Meet a local man who's about to have his dream come true.
But first, a wild night of celebration comes with the payoff of a shirt that fans can wear to rub the Tigers' victory in the faces of all the Alabama fans they come across. Retailers like Tiger Pride got their shipment in early this morning. They had been printing all night long.
We were being hounded for sure. They saw us in the windows hanging shirts and getting them out. Our truck got here as soon as it could this morning, full of shirts, and they saw them and they were ready to get in here, you know, just bitten at the teeth to get in here, but and we were hanging as fast as we could to get them in.
And good evening to you. I'm Natalie Tejeda. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll show you what goes into printing shirts like this one. But now that the Auburn fans have their Iron Bowl gear, their next challenge, securing those tickets to the SEC championship game.
Well, I talked to a few people last night after the Missouri game ended and found out Missouri was selling their tickets to the general public, and went on their website and ended up purchasing a few tickets through the Missouri Athletic Department.
Yeah, Michael Plan wasn't alone. Word spread quickly, and Auburn fans helped drain Mizzou's 16,000 ticket allotment, and the odds of getting tickets through Auburn, well, those are a long shot. Emails like this one were distributed to the Tigers Unlimited Foundation earlier last week. It explains the reservation process, which will likely mean only longtime season ticket holders will have a chance to buy. But hey, there's always the secondary ticket market. We checked out the usual websites to see what next week's game will likely cost to attend. StubHub has tickets starting under $300. And for the big spender, there's a suite available for $28,000. Razor Gators ticket prices, they're a little bit more reasonable, starting at $266. Ticketmaster offers packages starting at $465. You'll find links to all three sites online at cbs42.com. And really, it would be wrong to look ahead, but there is a chance that Auburn could play for a national title, but it all depends on where they finish in the BCS poll. So how high did the Tigers climb and how far did the Tide fall? Patrick will have all those answers later, coming up in sports.
Well, it's been a fairly cool and dry holiday weekend, but that's all about to change. Rain's already starting to move into parts of western Alabama. Take a look. Little spotty showers up there in Winston County, Marion County, and it won't be long before they make their way closer to Metro Birmingham. I expect a soggy start at the bus stop tomorrow morning. 48 degrees first thing out the door. We should see temperatures mainly in the mid to upper 50s for the ride home. Make sure the kids have the rain gear. And tomorrow won't be the only day that you'll need it. Coming up, I'll show you when we'll see another round of rain and an early look at the weather for fans heading to Atlanta this Saturday.
And thank you, Gene. We're learning more about a fatal shooting at an Iron Bowl party in Hoover last night. Police tell us an argument between two women spilled outside of Summer Chase Apartments and into the parking lot. That's when the argument turned physical, with one woman pulling a small handgun and shooting the other. The suspect remains in the Hoover City Jail. Charges will be filed in Shelby County. Names are not being released at this time, but allegiances do not appear to be a factor. New information tonight on a strange chase and potential kidnapping we first told you about last night near Dora. Sources close to CBS 42 News tell us a man stole a car belonging to his ex-girlfriend. We're told two children were inside the car and then were ejected when the driver wrecked near an overpass near Bell's Funeral Home. The Walker County Sheriff's Office is working the case. We are choosing to withhold the suspect's name until we can confirm the charges, but the suspect is being held in the Walker County Jail. We still do not know the condition of the children. And a mother loses her son to a car accident just days after laying her own mother to rest. It happened near Avondale yesterday morning. The victim was driving a white van when it slammed into a parked car, then flipped over. Authorities are still investigating what led to the accident. The victim was the only one in the car. Well, the search continues tonight for what led up to the bankruptcy filing of the Carver Memorial Gardens. CBS 42's Mike McClanahan has the latest update in our continuing coverage of the controversy with the cemetery.
For the last 2 weeks, we're told the Alabama Department of Insurance has been operating a satellite office inside the former business office for Carver Memorial Gardens. As the federal bankruptcy process rolls along, the state is still poring over records to make sure everything was on the up and up, according to State Representative Wandalyn Gavan.
We are in a process now working with the Attorney General's office and gathering as much information as possible, to make sure there is no malfeasance on behalf of the owner toward those patron creditors. Also, to be able to gather the information with regards to as much of the records as possible, with regards to any information on who purchased plots, markers.
Representative Gavan is calling on all customers who have done business with George Washington Carver Memorial Gardens in the last 3 years to make copies of their purchase records and to bring them to a meeting this Thursday, December 5th at 6 p.m. in the auditorium of Jackson Olin High School. Gavan says they are particularly interested in payments made to the cemetery in September 2013 and any which might have been made after its business office closed. She says she'll forward the information to the state attorney general's office. Back to you.
We're also told that the search for a prospective buyer is making progress. Several interested parties have visited the site in recent weeks. For our continuing coverage of this controversy, go to CBS42news.com. Well, the letters P and H alone, they're just letters in the alphabet. But if you put them together like this, you have a major computer manufacturer. But flip them around, you have something much different. PH. It's the abbreviation for pulmonary hypertension. It's a disease with a diagnosis that is almost always fatal. But tonight, we speak to a woman who has fought back and continues to work to help others breathe easier.
You are witnessing something ordinary, a mother cooking dinner for her family. But this was something that was never supposed to happen because Donna Head shouldn't even be here.
Dr. Fontenot walks in and he sits down on the side of the bed and he takes my hand and he says, "You've got," he said, "we know what's wrong with you now." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "You have pulmonary hypertension." He said, "Primary pulmonary hypertension." And I said, "Okay, let's fix it." He said, "There's no way to fix it." He said, "Without a heart-lung transplant, you won't live 2 years."
It was 22 years ago those words left her stunned.
It took me about 6 months to swallow it. And then it was like, no, you can't have me.
At the time, there was no clinical treatment, only experimental. For Head, it meant long drives to see specialists all over the South. She lives on an ever-changing cocktail of drugs. Between her disease and her treatments, she had to give up on her nursing career.
Really, I don't even know how to describe the tiredness. It's a bone tired, and you just can't it's too hard to get to the bathroom to go to the bathroom. You're that kind of tired.
She's tired because this disease takes your breath away. The arteries from the heart to the lungs harden, making it almost impossible to breathe.
Most of the pulmonary hypertension patients are on oxygen all the time.
People like Christopher Nelson. He spent the last few months of his life struggling to catch his breath. His fight came to an end in 2012. Head understands Christopher's pain, and that's why she continues to fight.
I have walked in 2 5K runs lately, which is amazing for me, but that just shows that I'm doing that much better.
Those walks are fundraisers to help support the research needed to keep her and countless others from having to suffer like Chris.
Life, I don't think, is about the amount of it. It's not the quantity of it, it's the quality of your life to me, and that's all I want is a good quality, and that's what I want for everybody.
And she truly is an inspiration. You can hear her full story on our website at CBS42.com. There you'll also find more links with information about PH. Well, it's the game where answers are the questions and questions, they are the answers. Still ahead, a local man's journey to prepare for his game show debut. And the basketball action heats up as North Carolina visits UAB. Highlights coming up in sports.
And back to work, back to school, you'll need the rain gear. I'll show you how many days this week you might need that. The forecast is coming up.
And welcome back. It's a very exciting week for a Birmingham man who's about to live a lifelong dream. He will fly to California this week to compete on America's favorite trivia show. We caught up with Clay Walls to discuss what this opportunity means to him. Tiffany Westry has the story.
What is Let It Be?
That is correct.
Clay Walls is just an average guy.
I wouldn't say I know a tremendous amount about a lot of specific things, but I know a little bit about a lot of things.
A fan of Jeopardy.
In the third grade, the lady who kept me after school was a Jeopardy fan, and she watched it religiously every day.
And after trying out 4 times, he's finally a Jeopardy contestant.
On Halloween day, actually, I was just kind of sitting doing some work. My cell phone rang, and when I picked it up, there was a number, and it said Culver City, California.
He's been playing along with the TV game show for years, but Clay says there's no real way to prepare.
So I could study every day from now until then and not be asked a single question about anything that I studied.
Clay's love of the game and tons of support from his family and friends could be just enough for his big Jeopardy debut. In Birmingham, Tiffany Westry, CBS 42 News.
Now, Clay is sworn to secrecy regarding how he does on the show, but we can see for ourselves on March 24th. Jeopardy runs from 3 to 4, Monday through Friday, right here on CBS 42 News. Okay, so here's a little Jeopardy for us, Gene. The answer is no.
And the question is, will it freeze again tonight? So that's the good news. We won't see freezing temperatures, but you will need your umbrella. We'll talk about the rain chances, but first a sneak peek at what perhaps the entire month of December could look like. This forecast from the Climate Prediction Center shows we'll see a below normal temperatures across the northern plains, above normal temperatures desert southwest and the extreme southeast. Birmingham will see just about normal temperatures in the month of December. And as far as temperature, as far as rainfall goes, or precipitation in general, above normal here in the northern plains, that's likely going to be snow, with below normal amounts in the southern plains and extreme southeast. So Birmingham should have just about a normal December. Take a live look outside. We're seeing clouds increase tonight, and that's going to keep the temperatures down. One of the reasons why we won't see freezing, along with the rain that will be falling. So it will be a cool rain first thing out the door. Let's take a look at where that rain is falling right now. And again, it's pushing in from the west. It's an upper level disturbance, not really a cold front, so we won't see a big drop in temperatures once the rain moves out. A closer look shows already some spotty showers pushing their way in to sections of Marion County, Lamar County, Fayette, and over into Winston County. And this should probably reach Metro Birmingham in the next hour or so. That's about what we can expect. Our exclusive TitanCast computer model shows that rain continuing to push in from west to east while you're sleeping. So that means damp roads on the way out to work and school tomorrow. We may get a little bit of a break in the middle of the day and then a couple of more spotty showers toward the afternoon here around 6:30. On Tuesday, we get rid of the rain chances, but the clouds linger. We may see some hints of sun in the afternoon, but one thing we will notice, a return of southerly winds, so it'll feel a little bit milder for the middle of the week. Now let's take a look at those temperatures. 53 right now in Birmingham, 47 Hamilton, 46 in Gadsden, nowhere near as cold as it was last night thanks to those clouds. And by morning, we'll drop down just a few more degrees from where we are right now. As we work our way to the afternoon, low 50s pop up here, and toward the end of the afternoon, we'll mainly be in that mid to upper 50-degree range. So again, a little bit milder weather, but that rain will just add a little bit of a chill to the air as well. The next weather system, that's taking shape in the Pacific Northwest. This is a storm which will get here by week's end. At the same time, cold air will pour in, so we'll have to watch a winter weather threat perhaps a week from today, but that's still a ways off. How about fans heading over to Atlanta to watch the SEC Championship? Auburn, Missouri, bring the rain gear. They play the game indoors, so it'll be very comfortable, 72 degrees inside. But for tailgating and for heading home, you're going to be looking at a decent chance for seeing some rain as temperatures mainly stay in the 50s. And of course, that game seen right here on CBS 42 next Saturday. 48 degrees overnight, the clouds increasing with the rain after midnight. Keep the umbrellas handy first thing out the door. That's when we'll see the bulk of the rain. Then mainly cloudy skies in the afternoon with a high of 58. And you know, I rate the next day's weather on a scale from 1 to 10. It's called the Norman number. For tomorrow, only a 6. And for the rest of this first full week of December, we'll get a break on Tuesday. We may see some hints of sun, but then rain chances return on Wednesday, and temperatures will climb into the low 70s by Thursday. Showers and thunderstorms for the end of the week and on into the weekend. So it's going to be kind of soggy toward the end of this week. And again, pretty damp for folks heading over to Atlanta. So not too bad of a week, but again, you will need the rain gear tomorrow.
All right, make sure to keep that rain gear handy. Thanks so much, Gene. You know, we got to talk about this because sometimes in this business, you have to dig down deep and put those personal loyalties aside. And that's exactly what one of our photojournalists, Nick Gulas, did for us last night. The lifelong Bama fan went behind enemy lines for the printing of Auburn's winning Iron Bowl shirts.
In 1989, we were here till 4 o'clock in the morning. There's 3 men that own this company. We started it 30 years ago. One of the partners came up with the idea of a game shirt, and we've been doing it ever since. We try to keep our game shirts fresh and new with new ideas. We try to keep them up to date. The back of the print of the game shirt will become the front of the print for the score shirt. They will actually start printing the fronts of these shirts the moment the game has been won. The score shirt will be on white. We had 110 or 15 cases of white t-shirts shipped in this week. And this will be enough to get us through maybe the first 2 days. The shirts come off of here. They'll come right out of that dryer, and then we'll stack them by sizes. They'll be taken up there and put on tables. We'll set up the cash registers across here. People will have been at the front door. They'll be lined up at the front door. We'll say, okay, send us 25 or 50 people in the hallway. It's a team operation. Everybody's involved. We're totally dependent on our employees, and that's why we try to have that special bonus for those employees. We decided we will up the price of the score shirt $1. Basically, they split that dollar between all the employees. They can take several $100s extra home after a big, big win.
That is crazy. And, you know, less than 24 hours since the Iron Bowl, and Bama fans, excuse me, not Bama fans, Auburn fans, even Bama fans, everybody is just buzzing.
Yeah, the entire United States of America buzzing after, well, let's just listen to it one more time.